Water cycle or hydrological cycle. Water cycle, also called hydrologic cycle, is a cycle that involves the continuous circulation of water in the Earth atmosphere system. Components of hydrological cycle. Of the many processes involved in the water cycle, the most important are evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and runoff. Although the total amount of water within the cycle remains constant, its distribution among various processes is continuously changing. Components of hydrological cycle. First one is evaporation. The process of transferring moisture from the surface of the earth to the atmosphere is known as evaporation. The oceans and the seas constitute a major factor in large-scale transfer of water and water vapor between the oceans and the continents. Such a transfer requires a source of heat which is mainly available through solar radiation, heat from the atmosphere, or from the groundwater. Second is transpiration. Transpiration is essentially the evaporation from the plants. The leaves of the plants absorb solar radiations and in turn increases the temperature and causes evaporation. The removal of water develops a pressure deficit on the evaporating surfaces of the leaves. A pressure gradient is thus develops, and thus as a result water from higher regions of the plant starts moving towards evaporating surfaces. This pressure deficit is relayed continuously by capillary action all the way down to the plant roots and the soil water zone. Thus the flow for transpiration is initiated. The transpiration process is due to biological function of the plants. Evapotranspiration. The combination of evaporation and transpiration is called as evapotranspiration. The third component is condensation. After reaching high into the atmosphere, the water in the vapor starts transforming into the liquid state. The transitional process from the vapor state to the liquid state or solid state is termed as condensation. The photographs below depicts that the size of ice crystals is less than 1 degree and those of water droplets is greater than 1 degree. The fourth component is precipitation. The clouds are formed by cooling of moist air by lifting. As air is lifted, it is exposed to decreasing atmospheric pressure. The decreasing atmospheric pressure expands the lifted air and consequently cools it. Such a cooling ultimately causes precipitation. After reaching the surface of the earth, the precipitation is disposed of in 4 different ways. First is evaporation during descending stage or after reaching the earth's surface. Second, interception by vegetation and subsequent evaporation from the surfaces of leaves. Third, infiltration into the ground to constitute soil water, and eventually groundwater, or emergence in the form of springs to become a part of surface water runoff. Fourth, surface water runoff resulting from direct fall on the earth's surface and is concentrated into streams, rivers, lakes, oceans, and other water bodies. Infiltration. Infiltration is a process in hydrological cycle in which the part of precipitation is absorbed by surface layer of the soil. As infiltration progresses, the infiltered water moves downwards through various zones till it reaches the impermeable geological zone. The rate at which rainwater is absorbed by zone of soil is called the infiltration rate. Surface runoff. The water falling during early phase of monsoon is accumulated in surface depressions such as lakes, ponds, marshy places, etc. And remaining part flows downslope in response to gravitational force. The part of precipitation that is accumulated at the surface is called surface retention, while the part of precipitation that flows downslope is called overland flow. Overland flow that enters a stream contributes a part of stream flow. Retention storage is a part of surface storage which is retained on the surface and which later contributes to the groundwater.